if you are physically hungry, like you literally don't have enough food, enough to eat, it is really difficult to be enlightened. So I can't say don't worry about money, but what I will say is if you are in a position where you can negotiate.
What are the things that you recommend that we do when it comes to picking ourselves up and then bringing the business back to life?
Sure, I say a big thing is your network. Sometimes, especially if you're the only one who's going after what you're going after in your circle, it can be very tiring because you feel like you're the only one. I really strongly recommend to people so that they don't get burned out is to
look into the camera and fix our lives, all right?
Okay, I will give these. So these are like starter tips that I give when I'm starting with people. And that is one.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Tynkrait, where ideas are shared. We cherish your ideas, your views. Kindly like the video, subscribe, and share for others to watch too as well. Welcome, Miss Roxanne.
Thank you.
Your name is Roxanne. I find it very difficult to pronounce this name. Roxanne Worden.
Worden. Yes.
Okay, that's nice. Your name, when you come to Ghana, I don't sound familiar. Like, where is the background and how is the background like?
For Roxanne?
Well, yeah, it's Roxanne.
Roxanne, so I'm half Ghanaian, half American, Black American.
Ghanaians don't have Worden. So how did you get Worden?
You know what's funny? Worden is my dad's last name.
Oh, okay.
My dad is Fenty.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see. That's nice.
So that's actually my dad's name.
Okay.
And Roxanne, my mother was the one she named me.
Okay.
And so she liked the name. It means sunrise.
Okay. Sunrise.
Yeah, like the break of dawn or sunrise.
That's interesting.
And it's fitting.
Okay. Okay, that's
it
interesting.
Seems to suit me. So yeah, so that's my name. So I'm also Thursday born. So actually my singing name is Abba Blue.
Abba
Blue.
Blue. Oh, nice. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Cool. So I mean, you're living in actually two places at the moment. Like you go and come, or you stay here for the rest of it.
You know, I was going back and forth, but the past like 2 years, I was like, I really want to stay and get some momentum going because I felt like every time I would do something here in Kumasi, it would be time to travel back to the States and I would lose momentum. And it felt like I had to start back over again. Because when you go to the States, it's not only like a change of pace, but also it's like the food is different, your body feels different. So there's all this like getting used to everything. And then I come back to Ghana and then it's like I have to get used to. So it's like I was losing time.
Sure.
So the past 2 years, I was like, I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm just going to stay. And it's worked out well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what do you actually like about, like, do you like doing this, like being here?
I do.
Compared to, like, you have a lot of opportunities out there. You know, we've heard a lot about US, a lot of opportunities. Why choose Ghana? Why choose to be in here? That, I mean, we have a lot of challenges and a lot of problems. Why Ghana?
And you know what's funny? Ghana has a lot of challenges, but it has a lot of opportunities. If you like, honestly, Ghana, well, first of all, the climate.
Okay, climate.
Yeah, like, I mean, if you really think about it, your biggest thing you have to worry about is rain when you're here, right? So it adds to this kind of laid back, like less stress.
Okay.
Like, the nature of things here, you can take your time.
Okay.
There's no rush.
Okay.
Because like winter is not coming.
So let me let me get this from you.
Yeah.
The thing is that people have been saying, okay, when you're there, you have the money. So when you come here, it feels comfortable because you have something that you can start with. All right. Rather than being here, being born and bred here, you have to start everything afresh. It's hard to go around it. So is it like you actually don't understand that, or it's like you're okay because you came from that side? Or you?
No, I do understand that perception, but believe it or not, it's not like you can come here and just have this set amount of money that is like it's going to sustain you forever. Do you know what I mean? Because I think sometimes when we come here, I think people think there's just this money, like dollars just keep showing up in our account, whether we work or not.
Exactly.
And that's not true.
Okay.
You
need
can
to change that narrative.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Because
in everybody's thing.
yeah, and unfortunately, sometimes people try to play up to that because people charge us more.
Yeah.
People like invite us to more quote unquote like high end things,
Exactly.
and some people go broke doing that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you think oh, it's just this much. It's like going to the store and thinking like everything's cheap, so you get like 20 things instead of the 2 that you really needed, and you run out of money because you think like, it's just this, it's just a few hundred cities, it's just and you keep comparing it, like you keep doing the math in your head, like, oh, it's just $20, but you can run out because you're not. If you're here, if you like really have moved here, not everyone has money coming in. Like they're not still working from the States all the time, or not everyone came here and opened up a successful business. They still have to figure out like what they're going to do for money as well. And so I think, don't get me wrong, I'm sure there are people that come and they're like, they have money, they're fine. But I just don't think that's everyone's story. And so the idea that, oh, it's just going to be easy, I think messes a lot of people up.
I hope you're getting that.
And then I think when you talk about if you're born here versus there, I do think that it's just a mindset thing of any place where you're not born there. You know what I mean? Like there are Ghanaians that come. I have family that have come to the States, for instance, and they've killed in their academics, and they've gone through like that, and it seemed easy just because it was a different work ethic they came from, or there are different things at stake. So they may kill that better than I would do my schooling there. You see what I mean? So it's just like you have advantages from wherever you come from.
Okay. So let me ask this. You came from there, you saw a lot of, as you mentioned, there are a lot of challenges, but there are a lot of opportunities too as well. So what are some of the opportunities that keeps you be like, let me be here and not go back? As you mentioned, when you're traveling, when you have opportunity, there's time to travel, and then it messes up the opportunity. So what are some of the things that keeps you like, be here, okay, I want to be here, I want to build this, I want to do this. All right.
I would say the biggest opportunity that is here, and it's not any industry, but it's actually the humanity of this place, the community that's still here. That's one of the things that I think that we struggle with in the States, is this sense of community and establishing that, because the culture there is so geared towards individuality and you having your own space. And I think now people are suffering with a lot of loneliness from that. Where here, there's still a lot of community. I can, like, anything that I'm trying to do, I can call a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy. Do you know what I mean?
I get it.
And especially in this age of AI, if you're in a place that depends heavily on online interaction, there's a lot of unease because you don't know what's real, you don't know what's not, and you feel like you can be replaced and all that. But here in Ghana, that like our quote unquote being behind is actually an advantage. I don't think we are. Like people call it that, but I think it's an advantage because we still can pick up a phone and call each other and be like, "Hey, is this you?" You know, like it's very normal here to get in touch with the actual person you're dealing with, and the online stuff is secondary. So I think it creates this stronger bond where you can build things with more trust much faster, if that makes sense.
I understand you. And I mean, you've been doing a lot of therapy, social therapy. I mean, it's one of the great, go and watch out for social therapy, right? So, I mean, you talk to a lot of people have been, like, as you mentioned, stress and a whole lot, all right? Like you being into that space, what do you think is the factor, all right, around all those things, all right? Comparing that to, I mean, there, as you mentioned, you don't have anyone to talk to, so some might commit suicide or anything like that. What do you think is an advantage for us as you do all these programs? Is an advantage for us as Ghanaians? I mean, we have our own issues too as well that we can.
Yeah.
When it comes to business, when it comes to a whole lot of things. So what do you think is an advantage for us?
An advantage for business or personal or both?
Business, personal, yeah, it can go either way.
Okay, so when it comes to the loneliness factor, I would say that the community aspect, the fact that people are looking out all the time, is a big deal. Like especially here in Kumasi, everybody kind of knows everybody.
Exactly.
As big as as the place seems,
Yeah.
it's really easy to get to know people. And I'll give you an example. There was a point where I had malaria and typhoid fever at the same time. I was very sick.
Is it because of the food?
No, but you know, it was so crazy. The malaria wasn't being picked up on my test.
Okay.
So they didn't know I had malaria.
Oh, I see.
So it was just draining my blood because there was something about my type where it didn't show up in body aches or anything. So there was no, like, it was just I was taking the typhoid medicine, but I was still getting weak. But there were a community of people that didn't know each other, but they knew me.
Okay.
And literally every day I was getting checked up on by different people in different ways. And if I were in the States, I would have to figure out who to call, and they wouldn't be close.
But I mean, for the States, you would have gotten the advantage of going to a high-end hospital to diagnose it, and then you go away with the sickness.
But when you have malaria and you're so weak, so literally I had a friend who called me on FaceTime to check up because they heard I was sick and was like, "Oh, you're really sick." Like, he's a doctor, says, "Oh, you're sick." Like, he's looking at my face. And I was kind of like out of it. So I just thought I need to drink a lot of water and I'll be fine. Because again, I don't know how I have malaria. I'm just thinking I just need to get this typhoid worked out of my system. So he's like, "Oh, didn't I meet a guy that you knew, like a couple you knew months ago?" Like, this is months earlier. He didn't even remember the person's name because he wasn't in town. So he's like, "Hey, can one of them take you to the hospital?"
Okay.
And I'm like, "Oh, yeah." So then he kept calling me until he knew I got in touch with that other couple.
So he had somebody to...
Yeah, like literally everyone was... Yeah. And another friend of mine, she was checking on me, calling every day. And then she's like, "No, you've been sick too long." So one day she just pops up at my apartment. You know what I mean? Sure. And so when you have malaria in that way, so by the time like I'm going to the hospital, he's rolling me around in a wheelchair. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm in the States, yeah, sure, I could have called 911, but would my mind have been together enough to know to do that? Sure. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it.
But it was the fact that everyone, like, no one would leave me alone. Yeah. And even the people that worked in my apartment were like, she hasn't been out in days. Like, "Hey, are you okay?" Like,
everyone was friendly.
Yeah, someone sat with me while I ordered food because they know I hadn't eaten that much. You know what I mean?
I get it.
So you've said a lot. I mean, coming back to Ghana, and now you're in Ghana. So specifically, why choose Ghana and not any other African country? I mean,
no, I'm half Ghanaian.
You're half Ghanaian.
Yes. So actually, what happened? What actually happened was I wasn't planning to move here. I came to help my parents move because they had always planned to retire, and so I took 6 months off work and came here. And I'm like, "Oh, I'll help them move. It's fine." But I kept extending 6 months. I didn't know. Then finally I had to go back and quit my job. Like, I literally, like, one of my trips back to the States, I had to quit my job officially. And I had already been doing some coaching on the side. And so I decided, well, I'll just do that full time. I can do that from anywhere. And so I started to figure out, okay, where would I want to live in Ghana if I stayed full time?
What has been like, you started business in Ghana and then you're going through the hassle that we all go through. Poor network, you're having bad roads compared to the US. You're having a whole lot of issues when it comes to starting a business in Ghana. What keeps you moving? What keeps you, in the mood to do business in Ghana? You'll not earn as much as you earn in US. Why still in Ghana and doing business in Ghana?
I would say because you see the fruits of your labor here. So, there are a lot of challenges, like you mentioned, right? And a lot of things where you're like, this could have easily been fixed. Like, come on. Like things that are very frustrating, right? But then there's like there are these groups of people, like in every town, that they're pure geniuses. Do you know what I mean? Like they're go-getters. They're like, they would kill it anywhere in the world, not just Ghana. You know, because there's something about the mindset that has to overcome all of these frustrating things and still do something great. Right. So I'm very passionate about supporting the people that were able to say, I don't care, I'm still going to do something great.
I mean, when you come to Ghana, working here with the people that we have is very difficult. I mean, and as we come in, you're talking about time. We don't manage our time well, and we spend somehow. And then in Ghana, like doing business here might seem a little bit difficult. Sometimes you have to pass your way through to certain stuff that could be easily be available to you, right? So how difficult has it been when it comes to it's Ghana, it's hard, but I have to push through, I have to do it. You know, I also do business in Ghana. Sometimes, you know, things that you can easily get, some will be delaying. I mean, when it comes to the government aspect, maybe delays. When it comes to the people aspect, they'll not give you exactly what you want. All right. What has kept you going forward and be like, okay, I know it's hard, but I have to do it?
I have to be honest, I think I have an advantage, right? Because part of my business is already established in the States, right? Like I already had the coaching business that I have registered and started in the States. So there's an advantage there where I'm already a little bit set up. And then there is the advantage that I work for myself. I actually strategically plan this. So I'm working for myself. I get to decide, okay, what's going to be worthwhile to work on, to do. Don't get me wrong. It doesn't mean I eat all the time.
Okay, I get it. Yeah.
But I'm very committed to the freedom. So when you say what motivates you in Ghana, it's actually not a motivation for Ghana. It's a motivation for my own life plan. You know what I'm saying? So I've always wanted to be able to have the freedom to work from anywhere. But even though I worked for those organizations in an official capacity, I kid you not, there were hours and some days that I only spent seeing my colleagues, like my colleagues sitting in my office or sitting in my cubicle or whatever, and just pouring their hearts out to me. And they would just share. It didn't matter. It could be personal things. It could be things at work. And I would talk with them and I would still be able to get my work done. And it just like, it always worked out that way. And I went to this workshop, I think it was a week-long thing with a friend. And it was a cool workshop where it was learning about business and all that. But I learned that the lady that was leading it was a coach. And I was like, this is coaching? Like this? Because I didn't really know what coaching was. And I was like, I do this every day at work. I just didn't know that that's what I was doing. I thought I was, it was just the thing that people, yeah. And so it felt like such a natural thing. And so I started to look into, well, what training do you need? So I did look into a certification for coaching, like training for it and all of that. And once I started that path, and my brother told me, he was like, this is the fastest I've seen you like whip together a business like ever. Like this is the most. And when I started doing it, like my friends and they teach you the practice with friends and family like right away, just so you keep whatever you learned active. And so I thought, oh, this is going to be easy. I'm going to be talking with my friends and we're going to be like, just laughing. But no, even my friends who I'd known for years, we had like official coaching sessions and they had breakthroughs and all of that. And I'm like, oh, this is a real thing. So it was just this natural transition for me of like this thing that I've been doing all these years while I was in these regular jobs. Why don't I just do it full time? Yeah.
So like you took the things that you love doing and then make it work.
Yeah, it came naturally. I didn't know it was a job.
Okay. Do you recommend that those are the things that we should, when you're trying to start a business, we should focus on and do? Or is it like something different when you're trying to start a business or trying to do something, especially in that?
Yeah, I think that it's important to have some interest in what you're doing and some also some skill, right? Like, so I did have proof that it was something that people would come to me for because people were already coming to me for that, right? So I think you can follow your passion, but also is your passion something that people actually want?
Right now, the youth are all based on money. If it's not money, I'm not in for it. So what's your advice on that? Like, you start a business and then all they think about is how am I going to get money? I'm going to get a lot of money. Let me say, not putting in like, okay, this is the things I have to go through.
Okay.
So what do you expect? Aside money, or we should involve money or something like that? What do we?
I'll be honest, my answer changes based on how hungry you are, like physically hungry, right? Because if you are physically hungry, like you literally don't have enough food, enough to eat, it is really difficult to be enlightened. Do you know what I mean? And like think, no, but what's the bigger picture? The bigger picture is I'm hungry.
Yeah, you need something to eat. Yes, exactly.
It's very human, right? Because there's a reality to that, and hunger pains are real. So I can't say don't worry about money, but what I will say is if you are in a position where you can negotiate a little bit of what you really are interested in and what you like versus money, I would go for the thing you're interested in and work your way up there, only because you have the more potential to build a bigger building. I don't like that's my metaphor, but if you go for the money thing, right, and you're satisfied, you're just open to the next highest bidder. You know what I'm saying? And so it can get very difficult to build because you're easily distracted if all you're going for is money. You may start this thing because a lot of businesses get hard. Like I have not talked to an entrepreneur, a self-employed person, you name it, anything under that umbrella, who has not had a season when it's been hard, where they had to figure out the money, where they had to figure out how to pay their employees, where they had to figure out, like, should I keep going with this? And those decisions are hard to make, and you'll easily drop the ball if all you want is money. Because you could be right there when that thing is about to turn around, and you jump ship to go get some more money, and you're starting over all over again.
So let me ask this question. If we are in there, like down there, what do you suggest that we do? Like right now, I need money to sustain the business, or down or emotionally drained or something like that. To pick ourselves up, what are the things that you recommend that we do when it comes to picking ourselves up and then bringing the business back to life?
Sure. I say a big thing is your network. Yeah. Sometimes, especially if you're the only one who's excelling in this way or who's going after what you're going after in your circle, it can be very tiring because you feel like you're the only one. You feel like loneliness can be draining too, right? But if you feel that way, and it's common because if you're trying to do something that no one's ever done before in your family or in your circle, you can feel like you're the only one. But I really strongly recommend to people so that they don't get burned out is to find others like you. And that may mean going to another town, not moving, but going to another town, looking online and find someone across the globe. They'll find people who are doing what you're doing and trying to connect with them, because those people help you realize that what you're going through is not just you. Because sometimes you get drained thinking it's just me, or it's all on me, or I'll never get out of this hump that I'm in, right? And if you find other people that have either been there before or are in the same boat with you, you'll find that, oh no, it's not just me. And then because they're also in a similar thing with you, even if it's a different industry, but they're also entrepreneurs, you get ideas from them that you wouldn't get from your normal circle, right? Like a new way to look at it, because you've been looking at it from your point of view. But there's someone that'll come at it from the back end and be like, have you tried this? And you're like, oh.
Okay. So we shouldn't do it alone. We should consult people.
Yeah, you consult. And it's not always transactional, like, hey, I have this going on in my business. Can you? It is literally just being around people.
How? Like, can you explain that?
Honestly, that's how social therapy started. So I do social therapy, right? And what social therapy is I bring together entrepreneurs, people who are really like trying to blaze some trails out here in Kumasi, right? The reason that is important for me is because I need to see those people because they encourage me. They inspire me. When they talk about their story, it gives me ideas about how I can shape my own, right? And it's not me going up to them like, hey, I'm working on this thing and can you help me solve it? Because that's what we like to do is we like to gimme, gimme, gimme. But sometimes you get way more by just like, can I sit next to you? Do you know what I mean? Let me just sit next, because I may not actually know what question to ask you. But if I hang out with you, I'll catch a lot.
I get it. Interesting. You know, you've been talking a lot about building the community around, talking to people, and then what is this about trust in the business aspect when you try to go into business with somebody, especially in Ghana, breaking that trust is normal. Like it feels normal at this point because oh, what God can the president do? Cannot take me to court and all that. We don't respect the documents and I mean word of mouth and all that. So what do we do? What do we do when it comes to trusting people with business ideas and all that?
Yeah, I mean, again, from the circles I've asked about this, I've asked this question in particular. And the thing is execution, right? So people will talk about ideas all day, but if you don't execute it, it's like, did they steal it? I mean, like, that's business. Do you know what I'm saying? Honestly, that's business. Like, think about how many people come up with the next thing. Like, this person invents it, and then a bunch of people come up with the next thing to try to top it, right? That's just business.
So you should first of all execute and then
Yeah, like, I mean, you aren't making moves to execute it. Do you know what I mean? Like, and we think like, oh, that the world is going to wait for us to execute this idea. And you think you're the only one with it. You think you're the only one with that idea. Like,
somebody's also thinking of
yeah, like, I'm definitely a believer that ideas have to get done. Like, you don't own it. Like, and I'm not like saying it's stealing. I'm saying I believe in God and like everything's kind of orchestrated together. And so I believe if you have this idea and you don't get it done, someone else is going to have the same idea and get it done, right? Because a lot of times your idea is going to help somebody. It's meant to help someone. Even if it's a product, you think it's just a simple product, it's helping to make someone's life easier. So you get it done or else someone else is going to do it, whether you talk about it or not, right? So it's that executing, but then also partnering with people, again, who are in the kind of the same boat with you, right? And then people who have something to lose as well. Like you both need to be invested in some way where it's not just like you're putting all the skin in the game. Maybe it's your money, your time, or whatever. And you're just kind of dragging someone along with you. Of course, they don't have really anything in it. Like they're just hoping it does well so they can take some credit. But, you know, really having someone where you guys have some skin in the game. That's why building relationships is important. I've met business owners who were like, yeah, we just kept hanging out and we kept saying we need to do something together because they knew they were like-minded. And so the business came much later. Like, we just have to figure out what business to do, but we need to do business together. And a lot of people that I talk to that have done business well, that's actually what they always talk about. They go for the person and not the idea or the expertise. Like, what is that person's character?
Let's get to the final piece. So why do you do what you do? And how do people relate to what you do?
The reason I do the work that I do is because I want to champion people who are trying to make a difference, right? People who are really striving to be their best. I want to support those people. So I really like what I do.
Okay, so what have you found in Ghanaian right? Ghana people. I know you've been traveling around. What is it that different thing you found like that motivates you to work with Ghanaian people?
Because I do think that that's an interesting question. No, because I do. It's like, what's different with Ghanaian people? I think that one thing I've noticed here is that there's a lot of responsibility, right, to the family, which is, I mean, it makes sense historically, but also there have been pressures added from the West as well. So actually, nothing has been taken off of your plate. There's been no exchange. It's like you all keep taking more on your plate. And so it's like a different kind of stress. Like, even though things are more laid back here in terms of time and rushing around and everything like that, there's still a lot to focus on. You know, like
What
the
are some of the focus points that I mean, working with people like that? What are some of the focus areas? What are things that you look at when you're doing business or when you're talking to people? Their well-being. What are some focus areas?
yeah, so one of the main focus areas for me is, are you in touch with how you feel? Yeah, your self-awareness. Because I noticed a lot of people, like, because you are moving so much and there's so much responsibility to so many outside forces, if you ask someone like, how are you feeling, it's a difficult question, right? Or it's like, the of course the rehearse, like, oh, I'm fine, and you move on. But I've done like trainings here in corporate, like, and I'll sometimes during a training I'll do a meditation where you sit for like 5 minutes, right? And I'll have you do some deep breathing and scan your body and figure out, like, are you okay? Like, what's going on? And someone will be like, I didn't even realize I was hungry. Do you know what I mean?
I need one of those therapy. I think I've done one before with you. Yeah.
Right. And so it's like,
Yeah.
it's this kind of detachment or disassociation with the body that happens because everyone, like, it's such outward facing. Let me get you what you need first, and then I'll tend to me. And then, people are exhausted or a little resentful even, and they don't know where it's coming from. So a lot of times I look for that first. Is like, how even aware are you of yourself to even tell me what's going on?
All right.
Yeah.
So like the thing is, we go to work, we're drained, and people resort to hanging out, wasting much time, and all those. What do you think is the best way to replenish our energy or get back the energy that we lost during the work week? Right? Not using it for any other stuff, like getting the energy back, all right? Because we need to revitalize and then do a lot of work and improve the nation as well. So what do you suggest that we're drained, but what do we need?
You're drained, but what do you need? I think that rest.
Rest. Okay.
That's a thing.
You think Ghanaians, we don't rest? Because we rest a lot. We rest. Yeah.
We rest.
Mm,
You rest, but
but okay. Okay.
okay, for me, like, okay, you rest, but sometimes the way you work is stressful. Meaning, like, I know a lot of people won't even, like, they won't write things down. They won't, like, yeah, like, so they forget things and then they have to apologize for the thing they forgot. And it's like, so for me, there's a lot of just logistics that would break down the stress, right? Because I noticed a lot of people are waking up the next morning already behind because they forgot something from the last day. You know what
So
I
we
mean?
don't plan our days. So we should be
Yeah.
planning our days.
Like
ahead.
planning your days, actually writing things down, so you don't have to keep replaying it in your head and, oh, I forgot this, oh, I forgot that, oh, I forgot,
Yes, exactly.
so that you also don't feel like you're at a deficit, like you're always trying to catch up. It's that feeling of like, I'm always trying to catch up on what I'm supposed to do. And then sometimes just like saying, okay, I'm actually going to rest here. Like, pause and rest. so you can operate at a more optimal level when you are doing things, right? And then not feeling guilty about the rest while you're resting. Because I get that a lot, like, oh, you know, I don't work as much as I should. And if you have the same person spell out their week to me, what they did, there's so much work that they're not counting. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I went and did this for the family. I cooked dinner for everybody. I cleaned up here and I did that. And I ran this errand. I did so and so for my uncle. They're not counting any of that. They're just like, I am lazy. I feel like I'm not getting this, whatever this assignment I'm working on done or whatever. But you're not counting all those things that, you see as obligations, but they're still taking out from your tank. They're still draining your fuel.
Okay.
Right?
Sure. Okay, so you being a well-being person, I want you to look into the camera, educate us about well-being and how we should take care of
The
ourselves.
whole well-being.
Yeah, like our well-being, how we can take care of ourselves and get things that should be productive, right? Yes, exactly.
The whole thing. I'm supposed to do the whole.
No, like something brief.
Your whole life fixed.
No, not
right
the whole
now.
life. Yes, fix our life. Look into the camera and fix our life. All right.
Okay, I will give these. So these are like starter tips that I give when I'm starting with people. And that is, one, your day starts the night before. So your day doesn't start when you wake up. It starts the night before when you're planning for the next day, when you're winding down and you're letting things go. And so then when you wake up the next day, you already know what you're doing for the rest of the day. And so write things down. I say this all the time. Just write things down, even if you have to keep a journal, a small journal with you, or if you write things on your phone. Write down things that keep circling in your brain all the time. Write down things that you need to do. Write down things that just keep coming up for you, because a lot of our stress comes from cycling the same thoughts over and over again in our head, right? So your day starts the night before. Write things down as much as you can. And the next thing is make sure you're counting everything that you're doing so you know how important it is that you rest.
Thank you very much.
Does that work for fixing your whole life?
Oh, it's fixated. But I have also one thing that you have to tell our people.
Okay.
All right. Give us one thing, like as a youth, Ghanaian youth, African youth. Can you give us an advice, all right, on how, like as you said, you started your business and then the challenges, how do we overcome all these challenges and then make sure that we are working and also come back to the productivity, because if we work best, we'll get the product out of it. All right. So tell us what we need to do and then encourage us to do more of what we do.
Okay, so I think the two biggest things for that are, one, to be solution focused. If you are solution focused, that is, to me, is 50% of it, right? Because you are not complaining about what's going wrong, complaining about all the obstacles. Not that they're not there, they exist, but you're constantly training yourself to look for solutions. If you can look for solutions, you may start your next business, because when you find a solution for something, you can package it and you can sell it to somebody else. Make sense? Next thing is, like, I go back to your community, because the people you surround yourself with can drag you down or they can pull you forward. So make sure you create a community for yourself. Even if in your own neighborhood or wherever you are, you don't feel like those people are there, find an online community. Go seek out. It's not going to come easy, especially if you're trying to do something that you've never seen done before. You're going to have to seek out some people you've never met before. And the best way to do that is to ask questions, right? Like, you don't have to go and always get something from somebody, but just, hey, how'd you do that? Just be curious, because people like to talk about their own business. People like to talk about themselves. So just be curious, because some of your best advice will come from just normal conversations.
Thank you very much. And then the last thing
You can say the last
The
thing.
last
The
thing,
last.
because what you mentioned was very important. And you being as a mother to us all, advise us on how we can choose those friends you're talking about to build that community that we will all evolve in.
Yeah, so pay attention to the solution focused talk. If you are around people who complain all the time, consider finding some people who don't. Not to say you have to like get rid of everybody that is not that type of person, but just spend more time around those who don't complain as much. The other thing is to look for people who are moving, who are actually executing even on the smallest thing. Like the big thing here that I look for personally is your word has to mean something, right? Because it's so like it's in a way it's hard to come by that people say I'm going to do this and then they actually do it, no matter how big or small it is. So look for people where their word means something because they likely will not waste your time. And then the other thing is just look for people who are also encouraging, who also want to see other people win. Because you can have a successful person who wants to be the only successful one in the room, right? So that can be dangerous too. But look for people who are natural cheerleaders, naturally, they're looking for ways to help out, even without you asking, or looking for ways to help you be better. And criticism is not always bad. Everyone who criticizes you is not like trying to bring you down and all of that. Like there's some people who want to see you succeed, who give you real criticism, and you need to keep them around.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I think we have to visit that a conversation about criticism, but we'll bring it into the next podcast. So thank you very much for your time. I know you read a lot. All right. So recommend one book for our viewers that you read. That really changed something within you.
My life. The book, I would say the first two books that changed my life around the same time were the 4-8 principle. 4-8. 4-8. It's based on Philippians 4-8.
All right, sure.
Yeah. So the 4-8 principle is based on your mindset. So that book changed my life because it was the first time that I learned how much of our thoughts are repetitive every single day, something like 80%. So it talks about how important it is that you set your mind on the things that you want to think about, right? Of course, it's from a biblical perspective. So it's like set your mind on things that are like uplifting, to God and all of that. But it's still for anyone, even Christian or no Christian, it was a very helpful book. It's an easy read. The second book that helped me around the same time was Boundaries. And the book is just flat out called Boundaries. I forgot the author's names, but it's a white book, Boundaries, in like red at the top and bottom. And that book was very helpful because I didn't know that I wasn't supposed to like carry your load too. Like I thought my responsibility was everybody, and it's not. So Boundaries also is written by two Christians. But again, you don't have to be Christian to get something out of it. A lot of people read this book and get a lot out of it because it makes very clear the boundary between you and the next person. Like, yes, it makes sense to help someone when they're carrying something huge, a boulder. But we all, like the metaphor it uses, that we all have our own backpack that we're supposed to carry. Like there are things that you as your own human being are supposed to carry. And so it makes you more aware of when there are people who try to make you carry their backpack. You know what I mean? Like that person who's like, oh, they're never going to work.
Well, yes.
But they always want you to give them money. They're never going to, they never even think they're supposed to take care of themselves. You're supposed to do that. And so Boundaries lets you know, like, no, you can be a really good Christian and really generous and gracious, but also hold people to a certain standard of being responsible for themselves.
It was an insightful conversation here at Java Cafe, and I hope you learned a lot. Watch out for the channel, and then for more insightful notes, and keep subscribing and liking and sharing. Thank you very much.